Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has left Australia. He's on his way to Japan for the G7. Joining us live now, the Shadow Trade and Tourism Minister, Kevin Hogan. Kevin, good to see you. So what would be your expectations from a trade sense? What do you hope comes out of this weekend?
Well, look, obviously we are, Pete, we are a prosperous country because of a rules-based trade system, and we had a budget surplus last week funded by coal, funded by gas, funded by iron ore, because they're our big exports. So, look, the rules-based system is important to us. We think there are major countries around the world who are threatening that rules-based system. So I think that has been top of the agenda. Looking at friendlies that we have within the G7 and encouraging a rules-based system, I think is crucial for our continued prosperity.
Okay, timber, it's back on. Kevin, how do you feel about that? Are you relieved?
Look, Pete, I am, and look, it's good news, but I've got to tell you, you and I have been talking about this for nearly a year now, this thaw. We've got, again, what we think are punitive illegal tariffs put on our products by the Chinese government across a range of products. So this was lifted yesterday, good. But we have two that are going through the WTO process. Barley, which we've suspended because we think they're going to make some movement there. Wine. Pete, I met some of our wine exporters yesterday. They are in a world of pain. And this is, money not in their pockets, and there's a lot of other industries like that, the beef industry, and there's nothing. This has been a very slow thaw.
So what do you think China's playing out there by holding off on wine and barley, just while you're on that point?
Well, look, I think, look, we think that they're using trade as coercion, and that's not okay. And I saw yesterday, for example, that the Chinese ambassador has asked that we form with China a working group to look at their ascension to the CPTPP. That's a trading bloc around the Pacific. Now, I don't think we should even look or begin to even discuss that process until what we think are all these punitive trade barriers lifted as a starting point, and then there's other things to deal with after that. So, look, we've got industries really hurting here, Pete. This has been a really slow thaw. We suspended the barley process through the WTO a month ago. Nothing's happened. So, we need to up the ante on them.
Yeah, and look, some of those producers have been able to diversify, which is good, but I mean, there is still the delay that's taking place. When would you suggest you go back to the WTO, and whether it's barley or wine, as a delaying tactic?
Well, we suspended the barley process because, we put, I think they obviously
but when would you put that back on?
We suspended it. Well, look, I think imminently. I mean, I was disappointed, and I was hoping the minister, and I'm not blaming the minister, but, the minister went to China, the trade minister went to China last week. I was hoping that announcement would be made then. It wasn't. Look, we're like getting fed like chooks from the Chinese at the moment with what we get back from them. Remember, these were punitive tariffs put on them by us. What we get back isn't nice or good. It's how it should be. It's fair, open, rules-based trade, which they're not adhering to. So, I think we need to up the ante a bit. This has been going on a long time, and barley and wine are just the start. Government
did go further than you guys did, though.
Well, look, it's good. Look, I've complimented the minister many times in the government, Pete, in this thawing process. The language has changed, the tone's changed. The minister visited China last week. That's great news. Now, that being said, talk's good, but, for our wine exporters, for our barley exporters, for some of our meat processors, they need real action.
Kevin, we'll leave it there. Thanks for your time.